press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello dear students, let me continue part 9 from work energy power chapter. Okay, so far I covered work and some concepts. All concepts will help a lot in solving problems. Okay, and we covered energy and different forms of energy, law of conservation of energy. And in the last session, I covered power. So, you know the meaning of the power and some variety of formulas also covered in the last session. Okay, so power, nothing but instantaneous power we covered, average power we covered, relation between them covered. If force is constant, what happened? If power is constant, how velocity varies, how position varies. See the last one. If power of the engine is constant, if the engine supplies some constant power, we got velocity proportional to t to the power of 1 by 2, position proportional to t to the power of 3 by 2. Just I used some integration. Okay, so practice those things. That will help a lot in all type of entrances. Now let me enter into the next topic from work energy power. So after this topic, let me give some assignment. Okay, from the assignment, I will cover all type of variety of models for entrances. So anyhow, let me continue next lecture. So that is from work energy power. So write the topic name collisions. So next one is collisions. Very easy topic in the overall first PUC. Okay, very easiest topic. We can digest easily. Okay, students will enjoy a lot generally. Okay, in first PUC overall, collisions are very easy and most of the students feel tough. That is the next chapter, means systems of particles and rotatory motion. Generally, students will feel tough, systems of particles and rotatory motion, and this is nothing, very easy topic. So let me give all the things related to the collision. Let us see what is this collision. Generally, colliding, nothing but if any two bodies are touch with each other, then we say that the two bodies are collided. Okay, if any two bodies, if they touch with each other, we say that the two bodies are said to be collided. But let us see, this is the general meaning. Let us see the original meaning in physics language. Okay, so here the collision means, according to our knowledge, just the two bodies are said to be touch with each other, nothing but yes, the two bodies are said to be collided with each other. Okay, here the collision, nothing but it is the strong interaction between the particles, between the bodies, in which some momentum will be transferred, some momentum will be exchanges in the time interval. So let me write some words. The strong interaction. So let me write the basic definition. Collision, nothing but the strong physical interaction, or you can write the strong interaction among the bodies, involving exchange of momentum in a time interval, in a given time, in a time interval, call it as collision. So keep this one. So general definition this is. So normal meaning is, if two bodies touch with each other, we say that the bodies are said to be collided. But here what I written, the strong interaction between the particles. Okay, strong interaction among the bodies involving exchange of momentum takes place in a given time interval of time, in a given time interval called as collision. So maintain this, simple thing this is, don't worry, I will give you in a general way. First you write this. Okay, strong interaction among the bodies involving exchange of momentum in a time interval. in a small time interval, okay, called as collision. Here, strong interaction between the particles among the bodies involving exchange of momentum. See, very simple. If two bodies are touch with each other, momentum of the bodies will be exchanged. This body moves with some speed v1, other body moves with m2, speed is v2, mass is m2. If they touch with each other, momentum will be changes in between them. Whenever the momentum changes, then that is nothing but the collision. And keep in mind, during the collision, bodies may be in physical contact or may not be in physical contact. So generally, how everyone will thought bodies are said to be collided means definitely the two bodies are touch with each other. But here what I am saying, during the collision, bodies may touch with each other or may not touch with each other. Just recall the some nucleus concept from the Rutherford. If any alpha particle which is moving with a speed v, alpha particle means it is a positive nucleus. Okay, positive particle. If it moves towards the nucleus, what is the center of this one? An atom centralized nucleus. What is the charge of this nucleus? Positive charge. Once this alpha particle reaches the nucleus, will this alpha particle hit the nucleus? See, they never hit. Why? Because this is a positive nucleus, positive ion, this is also positive. So these two positive means there is no physical interaction. Once it reaches closer to the nucleus, it will come out like this. Okay, there will be some story for this, nucleus, distance of approach, something is there. But here, once the alpha particle coming nearer to the nucleus, this alpha particle does not touch the nucleus, but this alpha particle will be scattered. This is actually scattered, okay, scattering effect. So here, there is no physical interaction between alpha particle and nucleus. There is no interaction between alpha particle and nucleus, but collision takes place. If two automobiles are struck with each other, then there will be a collision in physical contact. In a carom coins, if you hit one coin by the striker, then there will be a collision between the two coins. One striker and other one is the coin. So there is a physical interaction. So during the collision, keep in mind, during the collision, bodies may touch with each other, may not touch with each other. So this is the case in this. Two particles does not touch with each other. These two nucleus does not touch with each other. Because of this positive will be repelled. I think some idea, positive will repulse, that is general knowledge, okay. So positive will be repelled by this. See, there is a gap. There is no physical contact. But the nucleus will be, this alpha particle will be repelled by the nucleus. See, there is no physical contact. Or in a general way, you are walking on a something road. Okay, you are walking on a road. Suddenly, you saw the snake. Okay, just you are walking on a road. If you saw the snake, will you stay there? Will you stay? How will you? What about you? Will you run or not? Means that is also the collision between snake and you. There is no physical interaction between snake and you, and collision takes place. Yeah, collision takes place. Correct or not? So that is nothing but collision without physical interaction. Okay, without physical contact. So keep in mind, collision nothing but the bodies may touch with each other or may not touch with each other. Collision means, collision nothing but it is a strong interaction between the particles, in which momentum will transfer. Collision means it is the strong interaction between the particles in which momentum will be transferred in a given small time interval. Okay, in a given small time interval. So during the collision, bodies may in contact with each other, may be physical contact with each other, may not be in physical contact with each other. Okay, bodies may touch with each other, may not touch with each other. Okay, during the collision, maybe the particles may touch with each other, may not touch with each other. Let us see what are the different types of collisions. Okay, what are the different types of collision? And see, on the basis of direction of motion of the particles, collisions are basically classified into two types. Okay, just listen, no need to write anything now. On the basis of direction of motion, collisions are classified into two types, that is one dimensional collision, two dimensional collision. We can call it as a head on collision, head to head on collision. Other one is we can call it as oblique collision. Okay, just you see, okay, no need to write these things. See, on the basis of direction of motion, collisions are classified into head on collision, we can call it as one dimensional collision. One dimensional collision means, just you listen, that's it. See, this is one body and this is another body whose mass is m1 and this is mass m2, and see, they strike with each other. So the bodies move along only. So this is the before collision. After some interval of time, the two bodies will touch with each other, and after that the two bodies are moving along the same straight line. Okay, next I will write what are the velocities and all those things. Here the motion of the bodies are confined to one line. Motion of the bodies are restricted to single straight line. That's why the collision is said to be head to head on collision, or one dimensional collision, one direction this is. For suppose particle moves like this, this is before collision. After the collision, one particle is moving in this direction, one more particle is moving in this direction. What is this type of collision? Two dimensional collision, 2D, or we can call it as oblique collision. Okay, general things these are, just listen, that's it, no need to write anything. Okay, so oblique collision. So what are the basic types of collision on the direction of motion? On the direction of motion of the particles, collisions are classified into head on collision or one dimensional collision and two dimensional collision. In one dimensional collision, particles are moving along straight line. In two dimensional collision, particles are moving in a plane, xy plane, yz plane, or whatever may be, zx plane. Two dimensional collision also called as what? Oblique collision. Okay, don't worry, I am going to continue oblique collision in the continuation now. Okay, so let us discuss what is that one dimensional collision. So keep in mind, collision nothing but strong interaction between the particles. Strong interaction between the particles in which momentum will be transferred in a small time interval. That is the collision. Okay. In general, if any two bodies are touched with each other, we say that their bodies are said to be collided. But during the collision, maybe bodies are in physical contact or may not be in physical contact. And on the basis of direction of motion, collisions are one dimensional collision, collisions are two dimensional collision, oblique collision and one dimensional collision, head on collision. Okay, now let us discuss our syllabus now. Okay, this is general. On the basis of kinetic energy, okay, on the basis of some energy, kinetic energy, total kinetic energy, collisions are classified into two types. So this you try to catch it now. Okay, don't need of this one. So maintain the words from the next thing onwards. On the basis of kinetic energy, collisions are classified into two types. Let me write now. Collisions are classified into two types. One is elastic collision, otherwise we can call it as perfectly elastic collision. Perfectly elastic collision. Other one is inelastic collision. Inelastic collision. So maintain the words. On the basis of total kinetic energy, collisions are classified into two more types. One is a perfectly elastic collision, other one is inelastic collision. Okay, perfectly inelastic is there, semi-elastic, plastic. Generally, elastic collision, inelastic collision. Now let us discuss what is this elastic collision, inelastic collision. So written this, on the basis of total kinetic energy, collisions are classified into perfectly inelastic collision, other one is perfectly elastic collision and inelastic collision. Now let us start the perfectly elastic collision. Very easy things. perfectly elastic collision. Write this heading, useful for your board exams. Perfectly elastic collision. See, in any collision, if law of conservation of linear momentum and law of conservation of kinetic energy are remains constant or unchanged or valid or remains constant in any collision, okay, definition that they may ask for PUC board exams point of view. In any collision, if law of conservation of linear momentum and law of conservation of kinetic energy, both principles are remains constant or valid, then that collision we can call it as perfectly elastic collision. So, in any type of collision, if law of conservation of linear momentum and law of conservation of kinetic energy are valid or remains constant, then the collision is said to be perfectly elastic collision, otherwise elastic collision. Perfectly elastic, otherwise elastic collision. And see, in this collision, the shape and size of the particle, size of the bodies, shape and size of the particles does not changes after the collision. Means after the collision, if the two particles are hit with each other, after the collision, the bodies regains its shape and size. Okay, the bodies regains its shape and size. So keep in mind, in perfectly elastic collision, the shape and size of the particles remains same. So the shape and size of the particles or the size of the body remains same. Shape, size does not changes, means they will regains its original shape and original size. And see, the best example for this is collision between atomic particles. Keep in mind, collision between fundamental particles, otherwise atomic particles, okay, or fundamental particles like electron, proton, neutron. If electron and proton will hit with each other, is the mass of electron will change? Is the mass of a proton will change? So never. So mass of electron, mass of proton remains fixed. So mass remains same means what? The size and shape of the particle does not changes. So the best example for elastic collision is collision between fundamental particles, otherwise atomic particles. And one more we can also write, collision between alpha particle and nucleus. Alpha particle and nucleus. Just now we covered alpha particle and nucleus, means there is no physical contact. So got the definition. And see, shape, size does not changes. And what are the example? Collision between atomic particles and collision between alpha particle and nucleus. Okay. Now let us see what is inelastic collision. See the next one, inelastic collision. Inelastic we can also call it as semi-elastic. So very easy things, these are inelastic or semi-elastic collision. See the definition. In any collision, see, in any type of collision, if law of conservation of linear momentum remains constant, valid, but not the law of conservation of kinetic energy. So in any type of collision, if only law of conservation of linear momentum is valid, then that collision is said to be inelastic collision. Only one principle. Earlier two principles are valid: conservation of linear momentum, conservation of kinetic energy. Here, in any collision, if law of conservation of linear momentum is valid or remains constant, unchanged, but not the law of conservation of kinetic energy, means this is not valid. Okay, if only this law is valid, then the collision is said to be inelastic or semi-elastic collision, or perfectly inelastic also we can say. So, in any collision, if only law of conservation of linear momentum is valid, but not the law of conservation of kinetic energy, then the collision is said to be inelastic, otherwise semi-elastic collision. Okay, basic things. And see, in this collision, shape, size of the bodies changes after the collision. Earlier it does not changes. Now in this type of collision, shape and size of the bodies or the particles changes after the collision. Shape, size of the bodies changes after the collision. The best example we can write as collision between two automobiles. Okay, collision during the accident. Is the shape will be same? No. So collision between automobiles. Collision between automobiles. Collision between billiard balls. Collision between carom coins. What about the carom coins? Is the shape and size of the carom coins are changes? Yes, definitely changes. Okay, if they are the new coins, after some time, after number of times, after some days, some years, what about the shape and size of the coin? Definitely changes. Changes. Okay, don't think that does not changes. There is a small change that we are unable to identify. Okay, so collision between billiard balls, snooker balls, shape changes. We are unable to identify. Okay, after eating number of times, maybe small particle may shift. Okay, because no body is a perfectly rigid body, you know. Okay, so collision between automobiles. Okay, and see one more in this. In a collision, after the collision, if both bodies move with common velocity, then the collision is said to be perfectly inelastic collision. See, I written some words here. In any collision, if after the collision two bodies are combined with each other and they move with some common velocity, then that collision we can call it as a perfectly inelastic collision. Very simple here is just they given something bullet and there is something plank of wood that is suspended from the rigid support. If this bullet strikes the wood and if this bullet is embedded in it, then the system will move like this. See, there is a bullet. See, these two will move with some common velocities. Means both will move. The bullet is struck inside the plank of wood, and after the collision, both will move together. If both will move together, then this type of collision we can call it as perfectly inelastic collision. So, in perfectly inelastic collision, after the collision, the two bodies stick together and they move with a common velocity. So, there are two types actually, inelastic, elastic. But what is perfectly inelastic? In case of perfectly inelastic, after the collision, the two bodies combine with each other and they move together. For example, during the accident, if a lorry hits a car, if a truck hits a car, then what about the car? Car will move along with the lorry. Car will move along with the truck. Means after the collision, both will move with common velocity. That collision we can call it as a perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, so we know meaning of elastic collision, perfectly elastic collision, inelastic or semi-elastic collision, and perfectly inelastic collision. Here also only law of conservation of linear momentum is valid, but not law of conservation of kinetic energy. So in perfectly elastic collision, what are the principles are valid? Two principles. One is conservation of linear momentum, other one is conservation of kinetic energy. And what about the shape and size of the particles? In elastic collision, shape, size of the particle remains same. They regains original shape and size after the collision. Best example for elastic is collision between atomic particles, collision between nucleus and alpha particle. And see the next inelastic. What is inelastic? In inelastic collision, only conservation of linear momentum is valid, but not the kinetic energy. And in this collision, shape and size of the bodies changes after the collision. Okay. And best example for inelastic or semi-elastic is collision between automobiles. Collision between automobiles. And what is the perfectly inelastic collision? Perfectly inelastic collision. So in a collision, if after the collision two bodies stick together and move with a common velocity, two bodies combine together, move with a common velocity, then the collision we can call it as perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, perfectly inelastic collision. Now let us see some equations. So write down the heading, important for your subject point of view. Write down elastic collision in one dimension. Write the heading, elastic collision in one dimension, otherwise the head-on elastic collision. Head-on elastic collision. But in a board level, they will ask the question like this. So better you write this also for useful for board exams. Show that relative velocity of approach before collision is equal to, see the question is lengthy, is equal to relative velocity of separation after the collision in one dimensional head-on elastic collision after the collision. So I write up here after the collision. See, I written some three different headings. Very simple derivation, useful for your board level. See what I written first. Heading is elastic collision in one dimensional, otherwise head-on elastic collision. Otherwise we have to show that relative velocity of approach before collision which is equivalent to relative velocity of separation after the collision. Written the heading. So this derivation is useful for board exams. See, here the collision they given is elastic and one dimension. One dimension means after the collision the bodies has to move along the same straight line. We know two different types of collision, one dimensional collision, two dimensional collision. Okay. Now this is the one dimensional collision. So to derive this, let us consider two bodies or the two spheres. Okay, two spheres or two bodies, whatever. Okay, two bodies or any two spheres or any two particles. See, let us suppose two particles whose masses, this is two particles, consider two particles, one mass is m1 moving with a speed u1. What is u1? Initial speed. So consider two bodies or two particles of mass m1 move with a speed u1, another mass m2 move with speed u2 along a straight line. So consider two particles of masses m1 m2 move with a speed u1 u2. u1 u2, this is before collision. Before collision. Okay, and see, if u1 is equal to u2, are they collide? If both are moving with same speed, will the both bodies will collide with each other? So that never happened. Okay, if u2 is greater than u1, then collision will take place? No. So when collision will take place? If u1 is greater than u2, then after some time first body strikes the second body. u1 is greater than u2, then collision takes place. Okay, so collision takes place. So if u1 is greater than u2, then the two bodies stick together. See, this is during collision. Okay, during collision. And see, during the collision, okay, you know this concept in Newton's laws of motion. This will apply some force on m2 and this will apply a force on m1, like FAB, F is equal to minus FBA. So here there will be a exchange of momentum. So momentum will be transferred here, changes in this small time interval, something dt. So here after the collision, this body moves with a speed, let me take v1, and this body moves with a speed v2 along the same straight line. So tell me, what are v1 v2, what are u1 u2? u1 u2 are the speed of the bodies before collision. Okay, initial speeds of the bodies before collision. v1 v2 are the final speeds of the body or final velocities of the body. Speed, velocity same because straight line one direction. So don't worry about the speed and don't worry about the velocity word. Along one direction, speed, velocity same, distance, displacement same, like that. So after the collision, v1 v2 are the velocities. Okay, so what is this? This is after the collision. Anyhow, this is the elastic collision. So how many principle has to be valid here? Two principle. One is conservation of linear momentum, other one is conservation of kinetic energy. So from law of conservation of linear momentum, I think you remember the law of conservation of linear momentum from the previous chapters. Total momentum before collision, which is equal to total momentum after the collision. Total momentum before, which is equivalent to total momentum after the collision. What is the total momentum before collision here? Total momentum before, momentum of the first body and momentum of the second body. So let me write like this. Total momentum is m1 u1 plus m2 u2. After the collision is m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So I think you remember this one. Total momentum before collision, which is equivalent to total momentum after the collision. So let us write m1 on one side, m2 on other side. Take this m1 v1 left. Take m1 common. u1 minus v1. Take this m2 u2 to the right side. m2 common. v2 minus u2. Observe vu carefully. v2 u2. Let us take this is equation number 1. Okay, and tell me what is the other principle? Conservation of kinetic energy. So from law of conservation of kinetic energy, total kinetic energy of the particles before collision, which is equivalent to total kinetic energy of the particles after the collision. So what is the total kinetic energy of the particles before collision? Total kinetic energy before means kinetic energy of first one and kinetic energy of the second one. Kinetic energy of this, kinetic energy of this. What is the total kinetic energy before collision? Total kinetic energy before collision is half m1 u1 square and half m2 u2 square, which is equivalent to half m1 v1 square half m2 v2 square. Got it? And take this one suffix 1 terms to the one side. So let me take half m1 common. Okay, you can strike off half, no problem. So half m1 if I take in common, this is u1 square. Take this one left. Half m1 you take common, v1 square. Half m2 u2 square you take it into right side. Half m2 v2 square, I have taken half m2 common, and if I taken this value to the right and if I taken half m2 as a common, minus u2 square. Keep this as equation number 2. Equation number 1, equation number 2. Got the two equations. One equation from law of conservation of linear momentum, another equation from law of conservation of kinetic energy. So divide these two equations. Let me divide equation 2 and 1, 2 by 1. What is second one? So divide the second one with the first one. Second by first. This equation by this equation. So let me write like this. Half m1 u1 square v1 square. This by this m1 u1 minus v1, which is equivalent to this value by this value. Half m2 v2 square minus u2 square. Are you following v2 u2? See, little sharp is v, bending is u. m2 v2 minus u2. m2 half m1 cancelled. Is it clear right side? So a square minus b square, we can write it as, this is a square minus b square, u1 minus v1, u1 plus v1 divided by u1 minus v1. This is also v square. So v2 minus u2, v2 plus u2, v2 minus u2, v2 minus u2, v2 minus u2, u1 minus v1, u1 minus v1, u1 plus v1 is equal to u1 plus v1, v2 plus u2. Take this u2 left, u1 minus u2, v2 minus v1. See, I got one equation. I got left side as down side. Yeah, u1 minus u2 is equals to v2 minus v1. What is this u1 minus u2? u1, see, initially before collision u1 is greater, u1 greater than u2. After the collision v2 is greater. Okay, so before collision u1 greater, after the collision v2 greater. That u1 minus u2 is the relative velocity of approach before collision. u1 minus u2 is the relative velocity of approach before collision. v2 minus v1 is going to separate. v2 minus v1 is the relative velocity of separation after the collision. So now finally we verified. So what they given? Show that relative velocity of approach before collision is equal to relative velocity of separation after the collision. Now we got it. u1 minus u2 is equals to v2 minus v1. That is relative velocity of approach before collision, which is equal to relative velocity of separation after the collision. So very simple derivation, useful for your board exams. Okay, generally I will use this formula to solve problems. My intention is always problems and concepts, but no problem, anyhow I am teaching, so PUC and everything, so let me cover all the things. Okay, so take this derivation and let me extend the derivation. Yeah. Very simple. I use conservation of linear momentum. I got one equation. Conservation of kinetic energy, one more equation. Divide second and one direct answer. Finally, u1 minus u2 by u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. Relative velocity of approach before collision, which is equivalent to relative velocity of separation after the collision. Okay. So see the small extension here. So this you take it as something note, because formulas are important. Whenever I write like a note, means no need to worry about that note point for PUC, just formulas will come, that formulas you try to apply for problems. So in this note, let me write expression for final velocities, equations for final velocities. Final velocities. In case of head-on elastic collision, means what is this V1, what is this V2, how much this V1 value, how much this V2 value. If they given M1, M2, if 2 kg moves with a speed of 4 meter per second, 4 kg moves with a 2 meter per second, after the collision, what is the speed of first one, what is the speed of the second one. Okay, so like that. So let us find the equation for V1. Of course, by using this method we can get V1, V2. Okay, by using the same concept we can get the V1, V2 values, but let us get the V1 equation, V2 equation. If we got V1, V2 equations, and that equation is easy to get the final velocities of the bodies after the collision. So let me rub this one. See, anyhow, from the previous concept, now from this concept, we know that U1 minus U2, which is equivalent to what? V2 minus V1, from that. Okay, U1 minus U2 is equal to V2 minus V1. From this, let me take this minus V1 to the left. U1, U2 plus V1, which is equivalent to what? V2. So I got V2 value. Okay, no need of derivation. U1 minus U2 plus V1. Let us keep this is equation 1. Keep that as a equation 1. Substitute that V1 value in conservation of linear momentum. Sorry, V2 value in momentum. You will get some equation. So simple mathematics. Substitute this equation 1 in law of conservation of linear momentum. What is law of conservation of linear momentum? M1 U1, observe U1 V1 carefully. M1 U1 M2 U2, which is equivalent to M1 V1, I will write V little big, M2 V2, so that you can identify what is U, what is V. Substitute this V2 value here. M1 U1, M2 U2, M1 V1, M2, what is V2? From this, you write this one. U1 minus U2 plus V1. Then do simple mathematics, means multiplication. Left side, M1 U1, M2 U2. Right side, M1 V1 plus, multiply this value, M2 U1 you multiply just m2 u1 and multiply m2 this one m2 u2 plus m2 v1, okay. Except this v1 term, you take all the values into the left. Why this is square, tell me? No square, okay. m1 u1 m2 u2, take this u1 term left, m2 u1 minus m2 u1, are you following suffixes correctly? m2 u1, take this minus m2 u2 left plus m2 u2, right side m1 v1 m2 v1, m1 v1 m2 v1. Any terms are cancelled? m2 u2 m2, no, there is no cancellation. m1 u1 minus m2 u1, take u1 common, m1 minus m2, take u1, see m1 u1 minus m2 u1, m2 u2 m2 u2, 2 m2 u2, take v1 common, m1 plus m2, take m1 plus m2 to the left, m1 minus m2 u1 plus 2 m2 u2 all divided by, directly we can write individually, what is there? v1. So v1 we got, just divide in, split up the terms, m1 minus m2 u1 by m1 plus m2, 2 m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. See, this is the final velocity of the first particle after the collision in one dimensional head-on collision. So what is the formula? You keep this formula in mind so that you can solve the problems in an easy way. Otherwise, no need to worry, just you apply the formula, conservation of linear momentum and this one. If you use two equations, you will get the answer. Otherwise, if you remember this one, it is better thing. So what is the final velocity of the first particle after the collision? v1 is equals to m1 minus m2 into u1 by m1 plus m2 plus 2 m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Similarly, we can write final velocity of the body, final velocity of the particle, second particle. So just you replace this 1 with 2, you will get the answer, 1 with 2. Otherwise, see here I have taken minus v1 left side, then you write the equation for v1 here. Here I written equation for v2. Okay, this is your duty now. I will give the homework to you. So v2 minus v1, what I have written? v2 value. Then to get the v2 at the end, what you have to do is, just from this equation, okay, don't write, just listen. From this equation, u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. Then u1 minus u2, okay, u1 minus u2, take this v2 left minus v2 which is equivalent to minus v1, substitute this v1 value. So here take the v1 value, otherwise do one thing, write the v1 value, take minus v1 left, it becomes plus v1, take u1 right side, so v2 minus u1 plus u2, this is v1 value, check it once. From this v1 value you will get this one. Substitute this v1 in this equation, substitute v1, so v1 is going to eliminate, v1 converted into v2, finally what you are going to get at the end? You will get v2, so that you solve it. Otherwise, let me write, similarly v1 I am going to replace with v2, 1 replace with 2, m1 minus m2, m1 minus m2, so m2 minus m1, m1 minus m2 means m2 minus m1, u1 u2, 1 replace with 2, m1 plus m2, m2 plus m1, both are same, addition is there, no? So you can write m1 plus m2 or m2 plus m1, so this is not a problem, m1 plus m2 plus 2 m2 u2, you will get m1 u1 by m1 plus m2. So this is the equation for v2. So you try to solve this v2. How to get the v2? Just you take V1 value from this. Here I substituted V2 in this equation. You take the V1 value. See what is V1? V1 is equal to V2 minus U1 plus U2. V1 is equal to, take this V1 left, that is plus V1, and take this U1 U2 right side, V2 minus U1 plus U2. You will get V1 value. Substitute this V1 value here in conservation of linear momentum and extend the steps like this as it is. You will get V2 at the end. So V2 is quite opposite to V1. What is V1? M1 minus M2 into U1 by M1 plus M2. V2 reverse. M1 nothing but M2. M2 M1. 1 here U2. M1 plus M2, M2 plus M1. That's not a problem. 2 M2 U2. 2 M1 U1 by M1 plus M2. So keep these two formulas in your mind. Okay, remember the two formulas. Okay, by using these formulas, we will solve some extra things in the next sessions. Okay, so keep remember V1 formula, V2 formula. So what I covered, just in a collision, we know the definition of the collision, elastic collision, inelastic collision, and one small derivation, nothing derivation, that is relative velocity of approach before collision is equals to relative velocity of separation after the collision. And by the equation I got this one. From this I calculated V2 and I substituted V2 in the regular formula, then I got V1. Similarly I written V2. Okay, practice these equations. In the next sessions I will extend this topic. Okay.